Alright, new character Paz Vizsla coming to the game, the Mandalorian tank from Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Normally I would say hopefully you wow. Apparently normally I would say nothing. No, normally I would say hopefully you are coming from the developer's insights, but this case, you don't really need to. The developer's insights were weird and boring and just basically just an unofficial Q&A that made no sense because how is there questions when the character's not even in the game yet? So anyways, here's the better one, the kit reveal. So, let's motherfucking get it. Alright, to start we have Stalwart Barrage. And for some reason, it's so tiny. Why is that so small? Here, make it a little bigger so you can see it. It's just a basic, boring shot, but still. Alright, now it says... Final text. Deal physical damage 3 times to target enemy. Gain 3 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, until the end of battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. If he's got 5 or more stacks of heat, you gain 1 stack of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. If he has 1 or more stacks of overheat, deal an additional instance of true damage to target enemy, which can't be evaded. So, does that mean per stack of overheat? So, I think that can go up to 20, right? So, if he has 20 stacks of overheat, does that mean he can do 20 additional instances of true damage? And then, if so, what does that mean? Like, is he doing 20, like, basically, you know, like, right here in his animation, he shoots. So, is it, like, 20 more shots or something? Like, what is the true damage calculated out by? You know what I mean? Hopefully that's in the community comments, so then we can get an answer to that. Anyways, Ancestral Broadside is special 1. Let's zoom in so we can see that. It's just, again, kind of a basic move. He's just unloading. This reminds me largely of, what's his name? Chirrut's boy, Baze. Just reminds me so much of Baze. The chain thing connecting from his backpack to the gun, his movements, just it's like they just copy pasted that move set and then just changed the skin. Anyways, final text. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict breach and critical damage down for 2 turns. Gain 5 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Gain 1 stack of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Mandalorian allies recover protection equal to 10% of Paz's max protection. There you go. 5 or more stacks of heat. Light side Mandalorian allies gain critical avoidance up for 2 turns. That's dumb. 10 stacks of heat. Inflict daze on all enemies for 1 turn. 5 plus stacks of overheat. Remove 15% turn meter from all enemies. That's kind of wussy. You're gonna have 5 stacks of overheat just to do 15% turn meter? Ugh. Special 2, Vengeful Incineration. It's got a cooldown of 3 and a Zeta. This one had a cooldown of 3 as well, so that's something. Alright, so this move, it looks like he just kind of flies up and just burns everyone. Reminds me a lot of Django's move, but okay. Final text. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 2 turns. Yeah, just like Django. Inflict, expose, and stagger on target enemy for 1 turn. Pause gains protection up 50% and retribution for 2 turns. This ability deals 30% more damage for each stack of overheat Pause has. Remove all stacks of overheat. Deals 30% more damage for each stack. Oh wow. And overheat can go up to 20, right? So that's crazy how much that can beef up. That's what? 600% more damage total? Potentially? That's a big hit. That's a huge hit! Unique 1. Legacy of House Vizsla. Zeta and Omicron. This is long, jeez. At the start of battle, Paz gains 10% defense and max health for each other Mandalorian ally and 15% defense and max health for each other light side Mandalorian ally. Whenever Paz gains taunt, he dispels it and gains 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Paz has plus 10% critical avoidance and defense for each stack of resilient defense he has. At the start of encounter, if the ally in the leader slot is a light side Mandalorian, Paz gains Frenzy for 2 turns and 2 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Whenever Paz loses a stack of resilient defense, he gains 1 stack of heat, max 10, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. At 10 stacks, abilities and effects that generate heat instead generate overheat, stacking max 20 until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. Whenever he gains overheat, he gains 10% turn meter. Whenever he is inflicted with a debuff that can be dispelled, he gains 5% turn meter. The first time Paz reaches 1% health, he dispels all the buffs on himself, recovers 100% health, gains damage immunity for 1 turn, takes a bonus turn, and then is defeated. And all other light side Mandalorian allies recover 100% protection. During this bonus turn, his cooldowns are reset, he has plus 100% offense, and his heat and overheat stats are set to max. Okay, so that stuff's cool right there. His cooldowns are reset, so that fire move that he has, he can use that right away, and then he has heat and overheat set to max, so he's just doing severe damage. But then, I don't understand what the point is. It says he recovers 100% health, gains damage immunity for a turn, takes a bonus turn, and then is defeated. Like, what's the point of any of that? I mean, some of it, fine. But, like, why does he need to recover 100% health if he's just gonna die anyways? He's not actually healthy. I mean, I guess I could understand the damage immunity, like, if you can't get a turn out right away, but you want all this stuff to happen. Okay, so he hits 1% damage immunity. But why does he need to recover the health? I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, heat. Plus 10% potency per stack. Abilities gain additional effects based on the number of stacks. Overheat, plus 10% offense, and minus 5% tenacity per stack. Abilities gain additional effects based on the number of stacks. While in territory battles, so here's the Omicron, Paz has plus 25% defense, max health, and max protection. At the start of each encounter, Paz gains 3 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter. Whenever an enemy is revived, Paz gains 5 stacks of heat, max 10, or overheat, max 20, until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. 3 stacks of resilient defense, max 10, until the end of the encounter, and 50% turn meter. Alright, this says whenever an enemy's revived. But when you're with a team of Mandalorians, is there a Mandalorian that helps with revives? I don't think there is there? I don't know. Anyways, all light side Mandalorian allies recover 50% health and protection. Inflict all enemies with healing immunity for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. And that is his Omicron for... What was it for? Did it tell? I don't know. Territory Wars or something. Grand Arena? I don't know. Oh, there it is. Territory Battles. Yep. That's a very weird Omicron, actually. Territory Battles. That's probably one of the worst ones. This community comment section was terrible. Pause seems pretty decent though, so that's cool. I'm sure whatever he releases as marquee or whatever, it's still going to take forever to get him beefed up. But seems like he has some serious potential, which is pretty nice. And yeah, that's all I got. So see ya.